If you were to look into the majority of opinions from multiple creators or just Zombies players regarding the best games in the franchise, you will often see the common games like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 featured extremely high on the lists, even cracking the number 1 occasionally. But there is another game that is often looped into the mix, and sometimes even put at the number 1 spot, which of course is Black Ops 2. There is absolutely no doubt that Black Ops 2 nowadays has crazy respect from the entire community, including myself. The things this game launched into effect after Origins is truly remarkable and something I honestly don't think we will ever see again from Zombies going into the future. However, since there is so much praise behind Black Ops 2, it is often hard to see behind the smoke into the days at its launch and the first couple of months that followed. So let me take you back to a much simpler time, back to the days of Black Ops 2 Zombies. Before talking about Black Ops 2 Zombies, I personally think it's very important to discuss Black Ops 1 Zombies and where the mode was left after the game. Throughout the story of Black Ops 1, our Ultimates cast finds their way throughout a myriad of locations, from Kino der Toten to Shangri-La, but they finally reach the culmination of their goals on the moon. All through the story of this mode, Richtofen has been collecting pieces to finally connect together his ultimate plan, and Moon is where we get to see that plan take effect. As we complete the Easter egg, we get an extensive understanding over time about his ultimate goal, to completely control the ether. We swap souls with Samantha, who was previously lying in the MPD, and we finally conclude the Easter egg with the destruction of the Earth with multiple missiles that were launched from the moon. As we sat there looking at the broken Earth, we got a feeling of dread and mysterious curiosity of what was to come next. But that was back in August 23rd of 2011, and the community was forced to wait a whole year for the continuation of this story. The hype for Black Ops 2 Zombies was real, and the hope of the player base was there with open arms ready to play. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was released on November 12th, 2012 with some of the most hype from any Call of Duty launch ever. And I mean, not in terms of zombies, it was well deserved. I still think that Black Ops 2 multiplayer is the best in the entire franchise, and all of those crazy kids and the poor mic quality of the microphones just feel like they enhance the experience even more. But of course, with a campaign and a multiplayer comes a zombies mode, and the mode had already been established and approved enough to have some hype behind it, unlike Black Ops 1. I mean, I can genuinely see the excitement. Although I wasn't there personally to experience this, I would be extremely excited to hear that there was a new buildable system, a rideable bus, and an extremely expansive map with multiple different stops. Transit was the launch map for Black Ops 2 Zombies, and let's just say it wasn't really what we imagined. The qualities I just listed about this map were still present, but they almost felt extremely watered down and poorly implemented. For instance, the new expansive buildable system that was advertised was slightly disappointing, as although there was a ton of buildable items, you could only carry a part of any given buildable at a time. This meant that traveling around a huge map that Transit is in the fog with denizens or waiting for Ted was extremely inconvenient and would take the average player a while to actually build a single item. Transit is a huge and expansive map, however the majority of it is sealed off by crazy thickening fog and lava. Although there are areas such as the corn maze and the hunter's cabin that are not main locations such as town, power station, or diner, the player is extremely encouraged to avoid these areas with denizens clawing and scratching at your face if you just want to explore. The truly upsetting thing is that Transit was supposed to be the best zombies map of all time, but due to the hardware of the Xbox 360 and PS3 at the time, it just simply could not be done. So obviously, with a relatively bad map and unanswered promises, the community was upset after the release of Black Ops 2 Zombies, as the game just did not run as smoothly as the zombies before it. However, Transit wasn't the only Call of Duty Zombies map they offered. There was one more map that was offered at launch: Nuketown Zombies. For those who went out of their way to spend an extra $40 or so on the hardened or prestige edition copy of Black Ops 2, there was a unique zombies experience waiting for them. A polar opposite to the interests of Transit, Nuketown Zombies was not meant to be an expansive map. While Transit looked for innovation and new complex features, Nuketown went for the simplistic ideals. It's a calling back to a more simple time in Zombies with a mystery box and perks, and that's really about it. However, the problem with this map is I think that Nuketown was meant to be a multiplayer map and not a zombies map. I just think the flow of this map works way better as a multiplayer map, and when you just put it in zombies, it makes just these weird training spots or camping locations. The innovation of this map was the idea of random perk spawns, and it is the main feature that almost immediately brings down the enjoyability of this map. Although the idea of a perk dropping from the sky like a nuke would is a cool idea and it fits the atmosphere, in practice it really isn't all that fun. The perks come every 5 rounds or so, and there are multiple perks that it could be, making it so that Juggernog may not even be achieved until round 25. And this is not an easy map by any means, so without good perks it makes the map 10 times harder. So a mid map mixed with a terrible one doesn't really make a good zombies mode at all, but there was still a sliver of hope for the next DLC, and there was a ways to wait. Okay, maybe I lied. It was an eternity. Transit and Nuketown were released on November 12th of 2012 with the launch of the game. However, the next map, Die Rise, was not released until January 29th, 2013. Almost 2.5 months with nothing but a weird bus driver and denizens, the zombies community was begging for an escape. But with all this time in the oven, this map has to be good, right? Well, of course not, because this makes so much sense. While Transit focuses on a more linear scale with a wide area of land and open space, Die Rise focuses more on the verticality of zombies with giant skyscrapers in China. Right from the rip, it's very confusing to understand the layout of this map, and there are multiple areas where there is literally nothing going on. For instance, where you build this liquefier, there is a whole maze of rooms in the back that you can traverse through that literally lead to nowhere. And of course, how could I ever forget, PhD Flopper was teased on this map but was never added, the one perk that would actually save the map from being as bad as it is. This liquefier is genuinely the only thing that saves this map from being literally the worst thing since Home Alone 3. The reskin of the Nova Crawlers that absolutely nobody asked for, and the return of the Transit crew just was not it, and many popular creators have come out saying that Die Rise almost made them quit. 2 terrible maps in a row with a mediocre one mushed in between, the future of this mode was not looking bright. Many left the zombie scene in pursuit of other games, and the faith in the DLC cycle had pretty much been lost. Black Ops 2 Zombies was dead in the water, and with no zombies content for 3 months, the game had essentially been left to rot. But on April 16th, 2013, there would be a saving grace for the game: Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead saw some of the best storytelling and gameplay from any game ever, and it was a genuine surprise to many who had just seen the failures of Die Rise and Transit earlier in the DLC season. I don't think people understand how much Mob of the Dead literally saved zombies. If Mob of the Dead hadn't been released, I firmly believe that community events like Easter eggs for charity or Zombies World Championship just would not have happened in the first place. After the banger release of Mob, the rest was history, with 2 more bangers after that with Buried and Origins. These 3 maps started what Zombies was going to be in Black Ops 3 and onward, and the innovations and kickstart the maps gave will never go unappreciated. Black Ops 2 Zombies has been praised as one of the best zombies modes ever, and while objectively that may or may not be true, we cannot forget the depression of the era between Transit and the launch of Mob of the Dead. With that, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.